Live from an undisclosed location. Yes, the vice president is safe. It's the Geekshow podcast.
Well, we've got a wham bam shang-a-lang and a la 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 thing for you. Start the show.
Oh, damn it. I'm not Tony. I don't know how to hit the button. Here we go.
Do you need me to find...
I can hit the button. I am Tony. I've ascended Tonyhood.
He is Tony. He's Lee George Cade.
Warm caffeine, Tony. Warm.
Bad. Straight to hell.
It is, isn't it?
This is Vanilla Camorro from Harney and Sons. Fine.
Oh, nice.
Fine.
The tea guy
There's a
isn't
tea.
here. Or I guess you're the tea guy today.
I am.
Yeah, he's just
You're the
multitasking
quad tea guy.
He is. Well, he is today's Tom Sawyer, Robert Neel, everybody.
Good morning, good afternoon,
Hi.
good day all.
And, of course, Rebecca Frost, Parade Float.
Yeah.
Rebecca
Hey,
Frost.
hey, how about those Macy's Thanksgiving Day parades? The Santa one was disappointing. I feel like the Santa one has to be the showstopper,
It should be, right?
and this year's was so disappointing.
I was just happy that they, when the Spider-Man float came, because it's a new Spider-Man float, and they credited John Romita Jr. with the
Oh, nice.
inspiration for the design. I thought that was pretty cool of the announcers
Junior?
of the parade to do that.
Did you
Junior
see?
finally out under the shadow of Senior?
Yeah.
Did you see Ramita's social media post? Like he had a selfie of him with the float behind him.
Oh,
He was just
that's
like,
cool. That's cool.
I kind of hate John Romita Jr. and Senior with a passion because
Really?
they're amazing and they're fast. The thing with Romita Senior in particular is that he was doing sometimes 3 books a month,
Oh, yeah.
and the speed with which he draws, and then his son picked that up, and you'd see that in Kick-Ass, where sometimes you'd be like, okay, this panel was done in 3.5 seconds, but
Yeah.
it works. It looks good.
and I'm not a Ramita Jr. fan, and it hit for me during Uncanny X-Men because all of his faces, especially in like group shots, were just flat. And I'm just kind of like,
They are unlovely.
and his inker didn't do anything to flesh out the characters any.
Well, I think Romita Jr. is my Spider-Man. As I look over at my covers that I have hung up on my wall and everything, I think they're all Romita Jr. Although Andy says they credited Senior and not Junior.
No, they did. It was Senior.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my first exposure to John Romita Jr. was a cover of a Secret Wars where he signed Daredevil's Billy Club, JR Babyface, because I think that's what everybody in the bullpen called him, just like they called our host, Kerry Jackson.
Babyface
Oh, hi.
Jackson.
Yeah.
They used to call me Babyface.
Yeah.
Now I'm just referred to as the $1 Million Scowl.
Ooh.
What? How does one get that title?
You do this.
And somebody gives you $1 million?
You attend a meeting like this.
As long as you don't attend a meeting on all fours on the desk when the boss walks in saying, do these jeans make me look fat?
That's true. Never do that.
Never do that.
You get fired and then about 8 years later rehired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that something?
because that
Hey,
happened.
Rebecca,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's inside
are you
baseball.
cosplaying as Kate Bishop today?
Betcha.
Oh,
hot
I
damn,
like that.
nice.
I like that.
I like that.
Monday through Friday, 6 to 10,
I've got
x96.com.
I've got the matching bike shorts too. Don't you worry.
Oh, nice. Let's begin with, I think that the popcorn bucket wars are over now.
It's over.
I think this is it, and we have our winner. It's right there.
I have to have it.
Regal Cinema's latest popcorn bucket, it says here, doesn't suck. Vampire joke.
That's a vampire joke.
Yeah. The Nosferatu Popcorn Sarcophagus. It's not a coffin. It's a sarcophagus because the coffin goes inside of the sarcophagus.
Is it life size? Could you bury someone in it later?
I
Could
wish.
you
There-
like the 6'1"
there-
sarcophagus?
There are certain AMC theaters that have the like 500-pound actual sarcophagus that you could fit it. Well, I don't know about you, Lee, because you're so tall.
Yeah.
I
I'm not
imagine
Tony
Nosferatu
tall.
is a short boy.
The box is priced at $31 with a large popcorn, or $26 if you just want the empty sarcophagus on your lap all through the movie, I suppose.
Yeah, you got to be careful with somebody to drill a hole in the bottom of the sarcophagus.
These will be available starting on December 18th. The official release date, of course, is Christmas Day because nothing says Christmas Day like
He has risen.
Vampires.
It's my dick in a crypt.
Rebecca, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Ari Nosferatu and Robert Eggers. Are we going to bring back Spooky Time Club for a one shot?
Oh, we better. I'm seeing it on not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday after.
I hear it has an R rating for graphic nudity.
I hear
that
it.
right?
I hear it is extremely good, and finally someone gets female sexuality within a vampire movie correctly.
So they're not using it as a allegory for Victorian virtue.
No, I think it's the opposite direction they're going in.
Victorian horniness.
Yeah,
Victorian horniness.
repressed female sexuality, and
So she doesn't
How
just show
bad.
part of her ankle, it's the whole ankle.
it's the whole ankle.
Oh, full ankle. Oh yeah, give that a rated R.
A
but
well-turned
that's-
ankle, a well-turned heel.
Yeah, but I'd say that out of all the popcorn buckets, this one's probably the way to go.
I mean, it doesn't have a 2-foot handle on it like the Lord of the
I
Rings.
don't know. That Batman bucket was
Popcorn
pretty
hammer.
nice. The Bat Signal one.
The Bad Signal one was kind of cool, and the Lord of the Rings one was cool simply because I think that you could share your popcorn two rows
Whap
down.
people with it using their phones in the movie theaters. Looking at
good
you,
idea.
wicked fans.
Good idea.
But this looks like you could reuse it. You could bury a bird in it.
That's a decent sized bird, like maybe a raven? Quoth nevermore.
What?
I don't know
These
what I was
ravens, man.
expecting.
Jesus.
All right. Anyway, let's do some housekeeping because we have a Black Friday sale.
Whoa! Yo, did everybody get their 4 emails about it last night?
Did you?
Well, that's just wondering because everybody else has sent me 4 freaking emails about their Black Friday sale.
We're late on this, but we're doing a week-long sale at geekshow.store. And everything is discounted. Now you won't see the discount until you put it into your shopping cart or wherever it is. But it's a pretty good deal. And I promise you, yes, that's discounted. Get this soon because I swear the Barbie shirt is going away soon. All right.
It had its 2-year run.
It had its run.
Threatening you by taking it away.
Serious. I am serious this time. All right, but everything is discounted. I'm going to go on there and do some shopping myself, but it's only 1 week from today. So, like I said, you won't see the discount until you go to your shopping cart, but it's there. So, go ahead.
Leviticus, I'm sorry, we don't have any patches yet. I'm still trying to figure out how to make them. But,
Yeah,
that's
that's
hand
the tricky
sewing.
part.
It's getting old.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
If that's what you'd like, patches. We'll see if we can do that. Patches.
I'm
What's my enamel
depending on
pins?
you, son.
Thank you, Robert.
You're welcome.
What we need to do is get Derek to do caricatures of all the panelists and then have some enamel pens made so that those 2 will not sell.
Exactly. But yeah, everything is discounted there, and I'll hopefully remind you again before the show is over.
Should we do a Wicked shirt?
It's a little
We'll
late, isn't it?
replace this with the Wicked logo. Oh, what I wanted to do, Charlie XCX's album Brat, just the neon green with the lowercase Helvetica Geek Show. I wanted to do that shirt,
Yeah, I did.
but
I did wanna do that
Brad
one.
Summer is over. So
Yeah. Now it's sad winter.
well now Brat Summer has led into Wicked Winter. Who benefits? Big Green.
Mm-hmm. Everything's 25% off. I just did the math. Everything's
Whoa.
25% off.
Whoa.
So get in there,
Whoa.
geekshow.store, and get yourself a flag.
That poster, that's not AI. That's my hand drew that.
That is Lee George Cade's hands
my goddamn hand.
for the
I didn't
15th
push a
anniversary.
Have a computer do it for me. I drew it on a computer my own self.
And of course, but that's in effect now as you're listening, but only for 1 week. So that means, let me look at the calendar. It will the sale will end December 6th at midnight. So
Friday, everybody.
6th or
So-
7th, yeah.
So you
TikTok.
found the person who
TikTok.
has the button.
I did find the person who has the button. Yes,
Awesome.
I'm meeting with them on Tuesday, and
Nice.
we're gonna get this taken care of. Just in time for Christmas, right? Anyway, and don't forget, Geek Show got this covered. That's our Patreon. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month or up to $3.50, and coming soon, more to the Geek Show Patreon. Yes, you'll be getting videos. You get the Space Show early. You get the after party, which is us continuing the show after we get done here. And it's a Geek Show. It's a geekshowgotthiscovered.com is the link to that. Okay. All right, here we go. Skeleton Crew is getting closer and closer.
Lame.
And they've moved it up.
I'm so scared for these kids.
I listen. These kids are going to be either vilified or huge stars. One or the other.
I just want to know what's up with Geordie LaForce there.
Hey.
All right, there we go.
I workshopped that.
He's been sitting on that patiently.
2 out of my 3 dogs said that was awesome.
I like that. Anyway, it was set to premiere December 3rd, but instead they've decided the 2-episode premiere day will be on December 2nd. They just can't wait, I guess.
That's Monday.
Yes.
It is, yes. So the early release will only affect the first 2 episodes, with the remainder of the series reverting to its originally planned Tuesday evening drops. Now, this is not the first time that Disney has shuffled around a premiere date at the last minute. They do this. It doesn't mean anything. It's just something. Let's see. So, yeah, December 2nd for Skeleton Crew. And speaking of Skeleton Crew, our favorite member of Skeleton Crew, even though we've not met him, Neel. I just now noticed that he has hair, and that's unfortunate.
Oh, it's parted like he's got his hair parted like a little dick.
Be nice to him.
Yes, he's got a comb over.
You
So
know,
he's
this kid,
worried about
this kid
himself
draws
getting
in
on
his,
the kids' cases. I see how it is.
This kid draws in the
Lee is going to
margins of his
vilify the
books.
kids himself.
Yes, I am.
Way to go, Lee.
Call came from within the podcast.
John Watts has officially confirmed that Neel, that's spelled Neel, Neel is not an Ortolan, which is the Max Rebo.
When I found out this news, I fell to my knees. I was devastated.
Really?
I assumed they were retconning the Reboians because this is them.
Yeah,
He's playing that keyboard with his feet.
with his feet. So he is not an Ortolan.
Look, here's his little butt.
There's, oh my, I didn't need to see that.
You need to know what he looks like.
That is way too much Victorian.
Rebecca, can you go back to the Skeleton Crew picture for a second?
Oh yeah.
Because I've got to give Lee his props for the Geordie LaForce comment.
Oh, that picture.
But I went Cyclops with that first off
Yeah.
because of the position.
So I guess it just depends on what this kid uses the visor for, shooting optic blasts or being creepy around.
I think it's just binoculars.
I don't know. Anyway, John Watts said, "It's a big galaxy. There are a lot of blue-trunked elephant creatures out there." The showrunner, Chris Ford, said there's a lot of human-looking people that have no trunks that come in different colors and shapes, and we don't blink our eye at that. So it's a very human-centric to have a problem with this.
Well,
now,
look, he's got hair, he's got human-looking eyes, and his trunk goes a little bit down, but sometimes it's up, and he's got hands, and he doesn't play piano with his foot.
Look at those eyes.
You don't know,
If he asks you for a cookie, you give him cookie.
Oh, of course I would. But here's what the showrunner also said about this. Neel is more closely related to Hooter from Captain EO. Maybe that's the real question.
Wow.
What?
Okay,
He actually threw that out there.
there's one other distinction. You look at Neel there, right? You look at Neel, and you're like, okay, there's Neel. And
Yeah.
you look at Max Rebo. And you know what the big deal is here? Max Rebo is not wearing none clothes.
Oh, he's a
Neel,
nudist.
Neel wears clothes.
Neel is an ever nude.
He's a child.
Well, I mean, how many creatures in Star Wars have we seen that just don't wear clothes? Chewbacca, right out of the gate.
He's wearing that chastity.
He's got
strap
a
around his
belt.
chest.
He's got a belt, but was he holding up with it? Just his crossbow. That's it.
Oh, okay. This is how he put it. I have to reword this. Is Neel more closely related to Hooter from Captain EO? I think that's the real question. Look up Hooter from Captain Neo.
Who's this little green fella? I want to know who the green fella is.
He's adorable too, isn't he? He's not a Greedo, is he?
No,
No, he's furry.
He's
Okay.
he's
There's plenty of green
Not all
creatures with
green
antenna.
guys, Carrie.
I think he might be a Furby.
It's just he's got the big eyes and he's got the two little antennas on top of his head like
Yeah.
Greedo. So that's why I thought
Not all
Greedo.
green guys, Carrie.
All right, okay. Hooter. Anyway, let's get to some bigger news.
Bigger than these kids?
Oh yes, Voltron is bigger than these kids, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're building up to a full mecha here with our Voltron casting. This thing is going into production. It is actually happening. You're getting a live action Voltron movie. We have added to the cast Sterling K. Brown, Rita Ora, John Kim. They're joining Henry Cavill and this newcomer Daniel Quinn Toye, who is Spider-Man's stunt double or something like that. They're going to start shooting in December in this month in Australia. They're starting to shoot this thing. They've also added, let's see, Laura Gordon and Tim Griffin. Griffin known for projects including Grey's Anatomy, Prime Suspect, Covert Affairs, and Wayward Pines.
I liked Wayward Pines.
Gordon starred alongside David Dashmalian in Late Night with the Devil. He was also in Hotel Cocaine. Oh, that sounds fun. Saw 5, The Claremont Murders, Reckoning, Hunters. So, they've all been around. But how do you feel about a Voltron movie? Live action Voltron movie.
I don't care.
I want to know why Rita Ora is there.
Cha-ching.
I guess.
So, of all the 80s franchises that we could reboot, people have been trying to do Robotech since the dawn of time, but they can't because the rights are completely foobarred. Seriously, we missed the Thundercats train when certain actors are now probably a little too old to play the parts they were destined to play. But Thundercats would be a great freaking live action show. Also, maybe we need to stop calling all these things live action because they have so much CGI in them that they're not live action. They're just computer generated movies with maybe some real actors in them.
Well, I just want the toys.
The toys would be cool, but the Legendary Defenders show that was just on Netflix and is now leaving Netflix had some great toys.
Mm-hmm.
They were on clearance within 6 months at the Target.
Carrie, can I jump in with toy news really quick since you mentioned that?
Toy noise with Robert Neel.
Toy noise. Have you heard the rumor that somebody's looking to buy Hasbro? Yeah, that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Why
he wants to roll a special dice that's all 20s and he just wants to win.
He wants the D&D license.
Really?
Yeah,
'cause
because he's an
he-
idiot.
He thinks
Censor me, government.
He thinks the venture capitalists that own it now will wreck it more than he would as the venture capitalist that wants to own it.
No, it's never been more popular. Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah,
has never been more popular.
Hey, guess what? Twitter was also never had been
Exactly.
more popular.
Does he want to drive it back underground and make it
can't-
so goddamn nerdy that
I can't wait for his press release that that D&D is now a safe place for porn. Like he did with
it
X.
will be. Yeah,
Yeah. It's stupid.
it is.
I just can't wait for another thing that I won't support because of that guy.
Exactly. Anyway, so you get a Voltron movie, and I say, show me what you got. Now here's something that we probably don't need, but show me what you got. Yes, Mighty Mouse. Yes, being let's see, Paramount Animation enlisting some A-list talent in its long-running efforts to finally bring Mighty Mouse to the big screen. They have called up Maximum Effort Production, Ryan Reynolds people, to do a adaptation of the Mighty Mouse cartoon. Paramount Animation has hired Matt Lieberman, who worked with Reynolds on Free Guy, to pen the script. And there you go. 1942.
Are we scraping the bottom of the barrel with this?
No,
Mighty Mouse is amazing.
There's a lot worse you could go than Mighty Mouse.
Oh,
Yeah.
And actually, I'm okay with
a lot
this.
of hot Mighty Mouse defenders up in here.
No, I'm okay with this because, I mean, Mighty Mouse, I remember watching the cartoons, the reruns of the cartoons growing up. And also, CBS did a series on him in the early 80s, I believe,
Yeah.
on their Saturday morning
Late
slot.
80s with Ralph Bakshi.
Bakshi,
Yes.
It was
No, that was the
canceled
second one
because
because
it
they
looked
did
like
one
he was
before the
sporting
Bakshi
coke.
one, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, probably.
But, nice, wholesome, just fun, just lighthearted, the basics of superherodom in mouse form. And, it would be nice not to have anti-hero comics, cartoons at least once in a while. And I think this is the perfect way to go. And it's also quite the turn for Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool to this.
Well, I'm not sure he'd be starring in it. It's just
no, just his production company. But still, I mean, the juxtaposition of the two characters, it could not be further apart.
I have to agree with Andrew Kehoe right here. Yes, please bring back Droopy Dog. He's the hero we need right now.
Oh, I don't know, folks.
You know what, folks? I'm happy.
Let's see. Mighty Mouse would be reimagined and rebooted several times, but this is the most recent effort. In addition to Free Guy, the writing credits include The Christmas Chronicles, Rumble, Scoob, The Addams Family, Ryan Reynolds, of course, you know.
I've heard of him once or twice.
I've heard of him. 1942, this character's been around, and I guess you got to hurry and work on it so you don't lose the rights, I suppose. But it could happen. It could be good. It could.
Is that why there's a Superman movie coming out? They gotta hurry up and save
gotta
the
get
rights.
Get that. So here's the thing: is that back in the 70s, and because I watched that Saturday Night movie just recently, when Andy Kaufman did his famous Mighty Mouse bit,
I feel like it launched his career.
it did. But I mean, Mighty Mouse was old then.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it was kind of funny that here's this guy on stage who's reached into his childhood record collection to to play the theme music for you and lip sync it. All right, show me what you got. Let's go to comics now. Patton Oswalt's Minor Threats, which is, of course, getting a TV show. They have launched an anthology spin-off with two of the greats, Matt Fraction and Brian Michael Bendis. Yeah, I know. It's a
Fraction.
Yeah, we know that guy.
Bendis.
Together.
He is his book about overlooked D-list villains is very popular, getting a TV show, and now Matt Fraction, who of course won an Eisner Award for Hawkeye, where he reinvented the character essentially, and Brian Bendis, Miles Morales. He's the guy who brought us Miles Morales.
And Jessica Jones.
And Jessica Jones. They've got Mike Allred, Gene Ha also working on this thing. Gail Simone, Jerry Duggan, Sue Lee, Mark Torres also involved. It's a 4-issue project. It's called Welcome to Twilight City. And this will be available in your comic book stores, folks.
That's an all red cover on the right.
Right there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I recognize those Madman squiggles anywhere.
Exactly. They are, that's the Fraction and Allred team. They are focusing on a washed-up bird-winged actor, Benjamin Brock Bronkowitz, who isn't a superhero but played one on TV. Brock now spends his time, on the superhero convention circuit, trying to cash in on his fleeting fame, drinking away his problems as he fades into obscurity. But a chance encounter with a mysterious woman empowers Brock to fight for a life he once thought was over. So that'll be the first issue. Issue number 2, written by Bendis, illustrated by Lee, and drawn by Ha. Issue number 4 will be written by Jerry Duggan. The first issue, From the World of Minor Threats, Welcome to Twilight City, will hit stores in March. And the Netflix series, I don't have a premiere date on the live-action
My two least favorite words.
Netflix series.
Isn't your show Arcane on Netflix?
Yeah, guess who paid for it? Not Netflix.
Oh, okay.
If it had been paid for by Netflix, it would have been 2 stick figures on a white screen.
So look for that in your comic book store. Let's see, what else we got here? This Predator Badlands movie. Yes. Daniel Trachtenberg, the director, was being interviewed recently and revealed that Predator Badlands is set on an alien world and stars a representative of the Yautja species. I guess that's the name of the predators? The Yautja?
Yep.
Youch, because it hurts when they get you.
According to Trachtenberg, the creature is front and center, leading the charge. He's still badass, but there's something there that touches you emotionally too, creating a character you connect with, but are also super intimidated by. It's been challenging, but exciting, he says.
In
So
the Mine
he-
Predator edition?
He's the leading man.
No, I want him to stretch out with Predator and do something new, like maybe Predator Remains of the Day, where the Predator is
Sure.
Anthony. It's like
A musical. I think musicals are having a big moment.
your tea.
Predators and Prejudice?
Predators and Prejudice would be fantastic.
Predators and Prejudice. Oh, I love it.
The part where he like whipples his little hand after he helps her in the coach,
Yearns.
and then dismembers everybody.
But Elle Fanning is still in this movie, is playing twins. So that's
Parent Trap. Predator
Predator
Trap.
Predator Trap. Why don't you sit down? Why don't you go ahead and have a seat?
To catch a predator. Yeah. The predator is offering you sex.
Guess which Predator's coming to dinner?
Are those wine coolers that you brought? Why don't you sit down? Have a seat.
Over here.
Who did you think you were meeting today?
Predator.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm going.
It's just
I'm going
Predator.
to-
Oh, wait a minute. It's the emotional attachment. I just figured out what it is. It's to Predator with love.
Oh.
I like it.
Eat, Pray, Love.
Eat Predator.
P-R-E-Y.
P-R-E-Y.
These are all $1 million ideas.
I love this. All right.
If I don't
Chat
see $1
GPT
million,
couldn't come up with this.
Yeah, it could, but we'd have to proofread it for hours.
I did see a Chat GPT joke that actually was kind of good. Had to get it. Okay, why was 6 afraid of 7? Because
To 7, 8,
79.
9.
Okay. Why was 10 afraid? Because it was in the middle of 9/11.
Oh,
Too soon, Chat GPT. Too soon.
oh,
Yeah, there's no.
No. Just no.
you just got
Sorry,
Chat
Carrie, what was that
GPT
scowl? How'd that
canceled.
scowl go again?
Ah. Egg is right. Chat GPT. I definitely stole that from a human who came up.
Well,
with it.
everything Chat GPT does is stolen from somebody.
Can you believe people are using one Chat GPT as Google, two using it to write emails?
Yeah.
Use your brain.
No,
Uh-huh.
I had somebody at my job once tell me recently, hey, we should go to ChatGPT and put out an email letter for our subscribers. And I said, I can do it faster.
Just use your noggin.
Yeah.
The depths of human creativity.
No,
are
my
endless.
favorite thing about people using ChatGPT is that if you do not proofread that garbage,
Yep.
you just put out garbage. And
Exactly.
congratulations.
And yeah, I won't use it. I just won't. Because if we all start using it, then we all lose our creativity, and it,
Anytime my friends share something with me that I know was written with ChatGPT, I don't read it and I tell them, why would I bother to read something that you didn't bother to write?
mm,
Yep.
mm, mm.
I
Yeah.
actually follow somebody on Patreon who has banned all AI art on his page. He does a lot of fantasy art and miniature art and stuff like that. And he's just like, same exact sentiment. Why would I bother looking at something that you didn't actually make? So
Exactly.
And I got kind of pissed about a year ago. We were sampling some AI art for our thumbnails because it was being very strongly pushed at us. And against my better judgment, we went and did it for a while. I can see its merits for people who have no talent. That's fine. Great. Go ahead. But at that same time, somebody who at one point at my face complained about the price that I charged for commission work was putting out a Patreon book of bullshit that he generated with ChatGPT or with Google AI and
Really?
bragging about the art he created.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't do shit, Chucky.
And you don't own it either.
No.
Google owns that shit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to sell that shit.
Plus,
But the best
AI
part
art
is-
is just so soulless. Like you look at it and there's no soul in it.
Yeah.
Except for that one of Putin leading Trump on the beach. If you see that one recently, that's an AI thing, and that did make me laugh.
Carrie, no.
No, that's how they
Come
get
back to
you.
the light, Carrie. Come back to the
That's how they
light.
get
sorry.
you.
ACAB includes Paw Patrol. AI also. AI
Lesson,
includes the stuff that makes you laugh.
That's
lesson
true.
learned in the hospital. ACAB counts for Paw Patrol.
That's right.
They're conditioning your children, people.
Finally, this. During a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, James Gunn confirmed that Frank Grillo will reprise his Creature Commandos role as Rick Flag Sr. in both Superman and the second season of Peacemaker. So he's intrigued.
Very much looking forward to this man looking like this.
Here's what he says. He's a really cool character that Frank has been molding. The character's also in Superman. He's an incredibly important part of Peacemaker. He's one of the primary characters in Peacemaker Season 2, so we get to see his character from different angles. And he's not simple. He isn't just a good guy, not at all. We see all different sides of his character. He is morally a complex human being. Grillo is someone who I've known for a little while. I've wanted to work with him for a long time. He was one of the first people that I talked to when I took over the studio, and we're going to find something cool for you. And now he is everywhere. The actors have to be able to work within different genres, and that's something Frank's been good at. He's been really good at the comedy in Creature Commandos. He's also really good at the drama in Peacemaker and Superman. So you'll be seeing more of Rick
I'm
Flag
actually
Sr.
kind of pissed at him. He's 56 years old.
Grillo?
He can go to hell.
Did you see that movie that he did that action movie he did a couple years ago? Oh my God. What?
Yeah. So I just
You
read
mean
two fun
Captain
facts
America: The Winter
about.
Soldier?
No.
I just read two fun facts about Frank Grillo that didn't make me surprised at all. One, he's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and two, he eats paleo. Not surprising at all.
He did a movie in 2020. It's on Hulu called Boss Level. I know we talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
But I didn't know humans could look like that at that age.
Have you seen Ernie Hudson?
Oh,
At 78?
baby.
Yeah.
Oh, in his
I cannot
70s? Yeah.
believe.
Pretty amazing. Wow.
Did you guys catch James Gunn did an interview, I believe, with Collider, where they talked about like the DCU and his approach to the DCU. And it is essentially just the opposite of what the MCU is doing now. He's like, we are not moving forward on anything until we have a script finalized that we like. And just his approach to how they want to make the content is not just, like what Marvel seems to be doing now, which is just generating content for content's sake, but really a lot of care and thoughtfulness and effort being put into what they choose to put out. I cannot believe I'm getting hyped for the DCU.
I know,
Because
right?
It's
DCU
time.
Phase 1 sounds like MCU Phase 1. They
Yeah.
actually thought things out. They had a plan. Oh, actually, they didn't even think things out. They were like, we have an idea. If this works, we can build on it from this one thing. If that works, we can build on this next thing. And that seems to be Gunn's plan. But I'm curious, 5, 10 years down the road, are just like, well, now that we figured out the formula, do we just keep printing money if things go, that direction?
Well, I'm going to bring up our subscriber numbers real quick. There we go. Thanks, Frank.
Ayo. Respectfully, awooga.
Respectfully. Ooga. Yeah.
My favorite thing that James Gunn has said all month, though, really pissed people off, and that was
He's good at
about
that.
canon. 'Cause
Canon
they
is
ask him-
whatever you want it to be.
They ask him about how important is it to remain in canon. He says, all of this is made up. You know that, right? If I want Batman and Grillo to go on an adventure together, I'm going to do that.
Well, it's the same. It very famously said by Stan Lee, and almost everybody who's written comic books has agreed with this, is who's more powerful, Hulk or Superman? And he said, well, whoever's writing the comic and whatever the outcome of the story is going to determine who's the strongest.
And,
now, of course, we know Hulk is stronger.
Did you also see the Superman trailer was delayed because James Gunn got distracted by the new Kendrick Lamar album?
That's awesome.
Which, by the way, Jay mentioned this last week, but if you haven't
Last
listened to that new Kendrick Lamar album, it is very good.
That good?
Yeah, it's good. Me, a white girl in Utah, enjoying it.
Thing is, though, people would come up to me at conventions all the time and say, I got in a fight with a friend of mine about who would beat in a fight between, and I'd go, hang on, who's writing it? and then they get so mad at me. They wanted me to start spouting statistics, like game statistics and stuff like that. And I'm like,
I do have the finite answer over who's stronger between Superman and Hulk, though.
Who?
Well, it depends on who gets the first punch in. 'Cause if Superman punches Hulk fast enough and knocks him out before he gets mad enough, then it's Superman. But
Okay, follow-up
if
question.
he doesn't, no, I'm not done.
Oh,
I'm not reclaiming my space here.
okay.
No. If they get into a fight that lasts long enough, Hulk is stronger because the madder Hulk gets, stronger Hulk gets, but also he's going to create so much dust that he's going to eclipse the sun so that Superman no longer gets the rays that he needs to stay strong.
That was the question I had is, okay, where are they?
Oh, on Earth.
Okay.
Well,
But you do have a
Okay.
good qualifier.
well, it's a good qualifier because you had that fight between Superman and Muhammad Ali, and you're like, well, that's a one punch fight,
yeah.
Mhm.
but they did it under a red sun condition, so it's like, oh, it's even.
Yeah. Now, if the fight were in space, Rebecca, Superman would win because he can fly around in space indefinitely, whereas Hulk has to hold his breath.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
It depends on the Superman because some Superman had to hold their breath.
But could he hold his breath?
The
for
But
really
how long?
John
Superman,
Burnham did.
Superman can hold his breath for a long time, though,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Right.
but he's not just I can fly in space forever because I'm Superman after the 87 reboot. 86
But
reboot.
Hulk can't be like madder Hulk get longer Hulk hold breath. It just doesn't work that way.
Infinite lungs.
Well, of course.
Stay mad, Hulk.
Oh,
Must
okay,
hold breath.
wait a minute, hold on. So now that does raise a question. Superman, pick your Superman versus Maestro.
Oh, George Reeves.
Bradley Cooper.
George Reeves.
I love that answer. Thank you.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
he-
beats him every time.
Yeah, he met Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't Superman be able to run around Hulk really fast because he's as fast as the Flash and just punch him and punch him and punch him until he's
And
not
suffocate,
wrong.
and suffocate him.
But
Remember
then
what?
again, would he create such a dust cloud that he knocks out his own sunlight?
I mean, I'm a Marvel fan. I would, if I were writing it, the
I-
Hulk would win. But
I have no dog in this fight.
exactly, it just seems to me that Superman using the speed powers and his superpowers, he'd be able to knock him out. But
Yeah. No, you're not.
Fish
You're
in
not
the
wrong.
lobotomy. Done.
yeah, exactly.
Or box his ears like Batman. Works every time.
Just like this.
Yeah. So, okay, George Reeves versus Lou Ferrigno. Who wins?
Oh, George
We
Reeves.
do.
Reeves.
Easily.
Reeves. No, I'm sorry. This is the answer. We do.
We do.
Now, hold on. I have to go pitch
you,
this to one of the comic shops and be like, so here's the thing. It's the slobber knocker of this.
No, the thing is an entirely different character.
Yeah.
Well, is now now hang on. If it's Ferrigno Hulk and Reeves Superman, and is it a drinking game? My money's on Reeves.
Hey, what do you guys think? Speaking of MCU, what do you guys think about Captain America: Brave New World going back for more edits? I'm telling
Black
you.
man just can't have a movie. I'm just gonna
I'm
leave it at
telling you that we're about to get the most politically confusing Marvel movie ever.
It's just going to be Harrison Ford doing some freestyle jazz for an hour and a half. Then he gets mad, hulks out. All right, who wins in a fight between George Reeves, Lou Ferrigno, and Carl Carafalio, who played the Thing in Roger Corman's Fantastic Four movie?
Reeves. If it's a drinking game, it's Reeves.
Well, obviously. That's why he was so believable, because he could fly when he was drunk.
That's right.
Yeah. Oi, 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 oi.
Let's find out what we consumed this week. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Oh, no, I'll defer to
Rebecca?
Rebecca.
Okay. I watched that Penguin show finally.
The whole thing.
I
the
have one
whole-
episode left.
Okay. Well, I'll just say this. I'm gonna need Batman to kill this guy, like real bad. 'Cause
I saw that post. I was just like, oh, she finished it. Okay.
this
This is the
guy
first Batman
sucks.
villain that you're not like, I can see why he's bad. You're just like, oh, I
This
have
guy sucks down to
he's-
the earth core. Like
he's
he, not nary a redeeming quality,
Not
which
a
I
thing.
like. I'm actually really glad that we're getting a villain where we're not like, oh, we're kind of sympathetic to them. Like, no, this guy sucks to the end of the earth,
Yeah.
and I need Batman to turn his face into hamburger meat. Did not care for him.
But you can see what we were saying about Kristen Milotti, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
she's amazing in this
Yeah,
show.
she was very good. I did not care for her hair evolution, but that's just a personal preference. And there's, I've seen people online be like, "Oh, this is like one of the best TV shows on TV of all time," and I'm like, I think you need to calm down. Like, it was good. I don't know that we need to be out here calling it one of the best TV shows of all time.
It's not.
Yeah.
But for what it is, it's better than it should be.
It's no
It
Homicide
was
Life on the Street season 2.
fantastic.
Mm.
It was fantastic, but yeah, I hope Robert Pattinson kills this man.
I think the reason that we're so thrilled with the outcome is that we had our expectations pretty low.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why we all went, "Oh my goodness,"
Yeah, quite
Because
enjoyed.
it is a good Sopranos. It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is why my wife won't watch it. She's just
And
like, if I want to watch a gangster show, I'll watch a gangster show. I don't need the Penguin.
Oh,
But
also,
she's mad they didn't cast a fat actor to play him.
I guess I did have a question. I am kind of upset. They're like, there's so many fat actors, complimentary.
Josh
that,
Gad would have been.
Like, Josh Gad is the Penguin.
I'm thinking
Oh, no.
Richard Kind. I
I'm
want
thinking-
Richard Kind's Penguin.
That's right.
Richard
no,
Kind will do anything.
Yeah.
He even said that he'll do anything.
See, we're thinking of the Adam West style Penguin. Is what we're
No,
thinking.
I want
Josh
Richard
Gad,
Kind to play
Richard
this
Kind.
Penguin.
Richard
this
Kind
show.
could do evil.
Yeah.
He could do it.
Do you know? Do you know who would have been fantastic? Philip Seymour Hoffman would have been
Yes.
fantastic in this role.
Yes.
There's another movie I'm going to talk about later that would have been fantastic for Philip Seymour Hoffman to have been in. Anyway, there's a new release this week. I didn't go see it. I was on my deathbed, but it is Moana 2, and it. I haven't seen it, so I can't give you a review. I will just tell you this: do not forget, this show was once a streaming series for Disney Plus that they turned into a movie, and Lin-Manuel Miranda did not do the music. So.
It's killing at the box office right now. It's like
I
it's
mean,
the only thing out there, you know.
No, Carrie, Wicked.
I said it's like, not that it is.
Here, I fear. So I worked in a movie theater, and Thanksgiving Day, I have such fond memories of working at a movie theater on Thanksgiving Day, one of the busiest days of the year and the slowest concessions day of the year. But my heart goes out to theater workers this past weekend, this upcoming weekend, and honestly for the rest of the year, because Wicked screenings are selling out, Moana 2 screenings are selling out, Gladiator 2, people are, I still guess, going to see that. But I really, it's a tough time to go to the movies right now, you guys. But because I was on my deathbed, I stayed in and watched a lot of movies, and the first one, Anora, which it's the time of year where I gotta be watching all these movies are gonna be getting awards. So it is the time of year where I gotta be watching all those. So Anora, it's about a sex worker from Brooklyn who she gets her own kind of Cinderella story when she marries the son of like a Russian oligarch, and the family finds out and they come to New York to try to annul the marriage. And I liked this movie well enough. The thing about this movie is everyone is like, Mikey Madison, who's the star of this movie, Best Actress Award, this movie's going to get Best Picture. And I watched this movie and I was like, you guys are up in the night. I do not understand where all the hype for this movie is coming from. Like I said, I was on my deathbed this week, so maybe that might have influenced my opinions a little bit. But I don't know. It was fine. It's from Sean Baker, who, if you've seen his previous movies, I think you'll like Anora. But the one movie I do want to talk about this week, Conclave. This movie, if you're on film Twitter, this movie has been memeified into oblivion. It's insane. And when I have friends who went and saw this, and they were like, Conclave rocks. And I was like, you mean the movie about the Catholics? And they were like, yes. It is. So essentially, Ralph Fiennes, the Pope dies. You know, the Pope dies. Ralph Fiennes is in charge of putting together the meeting where they elect a new Pope. And that's the movie, is Ralph Fiennes putting together and organizing this meeting to elect a new Pope. And there is drama. There is mystery. There is intrigue. These Catholic cardinals are catty as hell. They are Do you know that scene in Mean Girls where Regina George makes copies of the burn book and then takes it throughout the school and is littering the hallways with the papers from the burn book? That happens in this movie, but with Catholic cardinals. It's insane. I absolutely loved this movie. I cannot recommend Conclave enough. And the ending of this movie blew me away.
They chose a pope.
They I don't want to spoil it.
Hey, is that a smoke in a chimney?
I don't want to spoil it, but also excellent insights into how they do elect a new pope. I mean, I had no idea. I'm not Catholic, so kind of fun to see.
Yeah,
Cardinal McBitchington, would you please come in here?
There's
John,
no
okay,
electoral college
this
from
has
the
a
elected
star-studded cast. You have Ray Fiennes, John Lithgow, Stanley Tucci, Isabella Rossellini. Just a lot of fun people to see on our screens. And this was one movie that Philip Seymour Hoffman would have killed in. Anyway, that's all.
As Cardinal McBitchington.
Yeah.
Is that everything?
That's
Because
it.
you were on your deathbed.
Oh,
so.
I will say, because I was on my deathbed, I was like, I guess I want something that I don't really have to pay attention to. So I popped on the Great British Baking Show, and the newest season that I know everyone was talking about, and it was fine.
That's all it is. It's fine.
That's
Yeah,
all.
You
It
know
was.
what?
it was
That's
fine.
all you need sometimes.
Yeah.
It's
But
fine.
I was getting into like getting like knowing people's names and knowing like, oh, so and so's going home, unfortunately, and like getting to know everybody's personalities. That was kind of fun. But yeah, it was fine.
Aqualad's still in it, I guess. He's not.
Oh, it's over
Finale
now.
Finale was last night.
Oh, it was. Oh,
But I'm not going to spoil it. He's still in it up until the end of that episode. He's
on
still
the
in it.
Netflix. It's over. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because
Watched it last night.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I'll get to that after Rob.
we'll get to it later. Rob.
Okay.
Rob,
Rebecca,
before
when they chose
Rob,
the last pope, they kind of went through the whole thing of black smoke, white smoke, how you choose a pope. But yeah, you were going to say.
I have a question for you. Are you reading Astonishing Spider-Man?
No, I am not.
I only ask because it's written by Scott Aukerman, who is the host
Oh.
of Comedy Bang Bang.
I am not.
Now, had I known that, well, I'll wait
Well,
for
now
it.
you know.
I'll wait for it
Half
to
the
show up
battle.
on my Marvel app. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay. Watched part of Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, because after the wife and kids went from The Hobbit, they're like, well, here we go. Next story. So we were piecemealing that, which is, fun. The scene where Frodo and Galadriel are talking around the fountain. I'm like, oh, look, it's a pensive. They're just going to do Harry Potter. Great. This is wonderful. And she goes apeshit over the ring, and the girls just kind of like, that I didn't see what happened, because they didn't quite get the backstory of Galadriel and why she was tempted by the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek watching, Lower Decks, as
Saw
always.
This week's.
And Prodigy. I finally finished Prodigy. I'm sorry, Voyager season 9
Yeah.
and Picard 3.5,
Yes.
because that show was the perfect ending, or the perfect finale for Voyager, and had a scene that capped off a number of questions from Prodigy about two characters who did not seem to meet each other at some point. And you're like, oh, this answers that question. I'm happy. Moving on.
Okay. I look
So
forward
that was
to this.
good.
Yeah. I look forward to this.
It was good. I mean, Prodigy, it's definitely, gateway Star Trek for kids, but I enjoyed it. The writing was good. It was nice to see characters we haven't seen in a while, excluding one admiral who I could deal with never seeing again. But the way they portrayed him made perfect sense for his character's progression.
Jellicoe.
Jellicoe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jellicoe's
And he's
my favorite.
he's top kick at this point.
Leah.
He's my favorite meme.
Penguin, I am at the penultimate episode, and I am just like, this guy, no redeeming qualities. Rebecca's right. I'm just like, just put a bullet in him.
Just kill this man. Oh, Robert, I cannot wait to finish the show.
But the thing
Murders
is,
his
as much as
man.
you hate the character, I love the way that they're portraying him. It's like this is a guy who's doing anything, and what he did to his brothers,
Oh,
Dude!
dude.
whoa.
It's just
Take them
like,
into a pie, huh?
I'm gonna watch a movie now.
I literally,
Cold as ice.
I am actually upset that I waited to binge this show because I couldn't watch more than 1.5 episodes at a time. I was getting so pissed off.
It's like me in Riverdale.
Arcane. I think I'm 2, maybe 3 episodes from the end of that, and it just continues to get better and better with every episode. I am delighted by a show that's like, we're using the name of this and some of the lore, and we're creating our own thing over here, and it's delightful. So if you're not watching it on the Netflix, change that. You'll
But
You'll
what's great
appreciate
about
it.
those changes is it's Riot doing the changes.
yeah.
So it's the people who made it saying, well, here's how we're going to fix this. Like when The Expanse was adapted to TV, when the writers of the books were the showrunners on the show saying, we want Bobby to have more of a place because that's something that we screwed up on in the books. Perfect.
Yeah. And really quick, a very DC heavy comic week this week. But first, Gotcha Man number 5.
Ross.
And this is, I mean, again, this is just pure nostalgia factor for anybody who grew up watching Battle of the Planets. This is a great book. You're only 5 issues in. Not too late to get started on it. Superman number 20. A certain Kryptonian creature is back as another character from Superman lore. And it's like, how did this happen?
That
A little bit of that
Doomsday?
story. It is Doomsday. And he's back as a Legion character. And it's just like, what? Because we've had enough revisions of who this character has been over the past 20 years. And this is a very interesting take. The Moon is Following Us, number 3. This continues to be just a really fun story. We find out who, if not the big bad is, one of the big bads is behind what's happened to Sam and Duncan's daughter. And definitely not anybody that they would have expected to see it. Justice League Unlimited. So if you ever watched the Cartoon Network series, Justice League Unlimited,
Yeah.
they're doing this now basically in print where the Justice League takes in all of the DC heroes and each team still exists as a separate entity, but they are now members of the league. Everybody gets a Justice League membership card.
Ooh.
They have access to the Watchtower, all of the resources and everything. But we get to see something that we didn't see quite as much of in the cartoon series. And this is a team being put together for missions to just go save people in a crisis situation as opposed to just punching bad guys. And the way they handled it in this episode and in this issue was really good, including new member shows up in the middle of the crisis. And he's like, I don't know what to do. They're like, just go take a tour of the facility. Don't worry about it. And just kind of like, we'll get back to you later. But the way they handled this entire issue and some of the things they set up for the future, really, really fun. And lastly, Absolute Wonder Woman number 2.
Gotta break her sword.
And she knows how to use it.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm really enjoying about the Absolute books is they've distilled the essence of the characters without all of the history and backstory. They've changed a number of things. Batman's not rich. Diana is not an Amazon exactly. Kal-El and Superman grew up, started growing up on Krypton, but the core of the characters, all of their essences are still very much intact. And watching how Diana and this Steve Trevor interact, fun, just fun.
Hearing you talk about previously Absolute Superman and now Absolute Wonder Woman, dang, I want to read these.
That's awesome.
This is the thing is like if you know the basics, shot to earth as a baby or a kid, grows up to be a good guy, princess from a hidden island shows up, wants to be a good person, and they kept that essence but changed a lot of the trappings around them, and you find out that the core of the character still shines through.
I want to read.
That's awesome.
I do like. All right. Lee.
We had to start a new Thanksgiving viewing tradition because growing up, our kids, we read the Harry Potter books to them, but as we have 2 trans children and J.K. Rowling is a raging transphobe, we've obliterated all of that from our home because she can go to hell. But we need new Thanksgiving viewing tradition, right? So we decided to go wholesome, and
Little
we
House on the Prairie?
auditioned. We auditioned 4 movies.
Edition.
And Paddington 1 and 2 will be added, of course. We've watched them before, but they've now been added to the permanent rotation. The Disney Christopher Robin movie was oddly gut-wrenching for me. I don't know why.
Ewan
With
McGregor?
Ewan McGregor, yeah. It ripped me up in ways that I was not expecting to be ripped up. Like, I was... But maybe I was just being emotional that day. I have no idea. But it definitely hit me harder now than it would have when it came out. I don't think I would have appreciated it then, but there was a certain sentimentality that I loved, and Jim Cummings is still doing the voice of Winnie the Pooh, so it's like that voice just saying that he still loves you even though you're old and don't know who you are anymore. It's kind of neat. And then of course the classic Mouse Hunt.
Oh, really?
Mouse Hunt is
With Nathan Lane?
Yes.
Oh
movie,
my god.
It's like Gore Verbinski could have just retired then, knowing that he made the perfect movie.
I wore out that VHS tape.
It's so good. Yeah.
I love that movie.
It's just amazing. Harrison Ford is still continuing to blow my mind on Shrinking because he just had an interview where he said he's always been a comedian. He's just finally doing a comedy. But the guy from the British guy that's on there now,
Brett Goldstein.
And he's one of the writers, so it makes sense. And it makes sense that he's doing this show. He is doing everything in his power to make us just feel horrible about a character who did a horrible thing, and it's perfect. It's just perfect storytelling. So,
and it was a good choice to make him shave too. By the way, I got to say that.
Oh no, I haven't watched the season at all yet.
As far as my wife's concerned, you could shut your whore mouth, Carrie.
I know, right? I'm telling you, we wouldn't get the sympathy. We would not get the sympathy.
No, because Scruffy, you're just too horny for him. So. I'm glad that more people are watching Hellboy the Crooked Man because, yes, my review on Amazon is a top pick.
That's it.
Yeah, a lot of people are watching it. Yeah. And I even wrote, except for Rob, who won't watch it because of a choo-choo. I'm watching more bagel videos because my bagels aren't rising properly, so I really need my bagels to rise properly because I'll never make it onto British Bake Off.
If your bagels rise for more than 4 hours.
Yeah. I've been watching the Peter Capaldi Doctor Who era, and you know what?
Baby, that's the stuff.
He was not given a fair chance. I don't think
he was not.
No,
he was so good, and it's
He's got
especially
the juice.
Yeah, I mean, Clara's a very annoying companion, and she's actually very endearing towards the end of his run, especially when he's in his Doc Martens just playing guitar because he can phase. So the last 2 things, Bake Off, the finale was this week, and I was not expecting the finale to be what it was, but one of the things that I watch this show for is just to watch people do something that is so batshit crazy bake-wise. These are amateur bakers. These aren't professionals. These are people that are just like, I do this in my kitchen for fun. I want to go to your kitchen. I want to be the guy that's on Bake Off that eats all the food that no one else wants. That's what I want. And be like, oh, I screwed up my pain de chocolat. I'm like, I'm the guy that eats the screwed up pain de chocolat. Thank you.
Oh darn.
Oh darn. And then I just want to end it on a high note. The finale for Arcane. There are people who think that it was rushed, which I say, if it had gone much longer, the complaint would be that it took too long. It was just right. They did not also want to insult your intelligence and explain everything to you. Sometimes things are weird because they have to be. Sometimes things aren't explained to you because they're weird. And this show had so much heart and gravitas and some redemption, some lack of redemption. There are some twists towards the end that I didn't see coming from even 100,000 miles away. No, you don't need to know anything about League of Legends. Actually, I don't care about League of Legends at all. And the show is one of the most gripping, captivating things I've ever seen, where I've watched this entire series from beginning to end about 4 times now. I think it's probably my favorite piece of media that's ever been released. And that is hard to say. It's just, Now, does that mean that I'm recommending it to everybody? No. It's for me.
No.
This was a present to me, and I thank you, Riot, for doing this, because it is the steampunk gangster family drama that I never knew I needed in my life. And it's also one of the most beautifully animated things I've ever seen.
There you go.
The music is phenomenal, and there are things that I never thought I would see animated or live action or otherwise. And no, I don't ever want to see any of this live action. Don't. This is art. You don't need to make everything live action.
Oh, but money and capitalism.
This thing cost $250 million, and it's probably the most successful thing that Netflix has put out this year, as far as views is concerned. So, a lot of money for an animated show, but not a lot of money for a movie. And at the end of the day, it's like 6 full-length movies in quality. So, yeah.
All right. Let's see. First of all, hang on, I'm just making a quick note. What I consumed this week is it's on, I know Thou Shalt Have No Other podcast before, but I listened to the official Marvel podcast, and they interviewed Tom DeFalco, who was and the whole episode was about Secret Wars.
Oh.
And they talked to him about, how did this come to be? How did this happen? And he said, basically, they wanted to sell toys.
Yeah.
And the interviewer was like, well, then how did we get such a great story out of it if that's just what it was? He says, well, we worked on it. That's why it was good. He said, I was called in because I've dealt with other toy companies, and so they called me up to the toy company, and they said, we want to do toys because the Star Wars action figures are selling so well, and we know you have a library, and here are the characters that we want to make toys of. And then they said, okay, we'll put them in a story. The big fight is Marvel insisted on having Marvel in the title somewhere for the toy line. Well, the toy company wasn't too keen on that. They said it was like a whole day of them back and forthing about Marvel being in the title. They finally settled on Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. The toy company just wanted to call it Secret Wars. So there you go. And he says, yeah, we worked on that. I didn't think it was going to be successful at all. I thought it was a bad idea. And then we went around to the comic book shops along the West Coast because we were so concerned that it's not going to succeed. And everywhere we went, it was sold out. And the people that were coming to get autographs had already bought it. And, the store didn't have any more. And we had to print more. And it just became this amazing, seminal piece of work that I've gone back and I'm rereading again. And it's just when you think it was just somebody wanted to sell toys, but we got this great story out of it.
It's the lenticular shields that every figure came with that made them sell so well. Everybody was like, I want to see those lenticular shields in comic book form.
And they're not in the
never
comics. They're not in the comics at all.
Like, I mean, think about the glory of a lenticular shield, not Captain America's shield on Captain America, but the shield shows you his secret identity.
And they said, well, what's your favorite thing about the story of Secret Wars? And he goes, well, people fought me on it, but I agreed that we're going to break the Hulk's leg. That was a bone of contention. But then he did go on about the Black Spider-Man costume, about how that was such a big controversy at the time. It's because now we see it and we go, oh, cool. But back then it was just, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this.
I don't like change.
Yeah, I thought it was cool from day one. I saw it and I went, that's neat. That's really neat.
That's pretty cool.
Watched a Netflix Anthony Jeselnik comedy special.
How was it?
It was okay. He's had it better, but I just did like the line where he said, if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, you're a fucking loser. And I went, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Superman and Lois. I'm grudge watching it because it's the last CW superhero show that we're getting.
Carrie, our comments are full of people saying it's very good.
They love it, yeah. Oh, and again, hey, if you love it, that's terrific. It's just okay for me. But it seems to me that they finally got Doomsday looking like he came out of the comic books finally. He's evolved.
So they didn't give him a gray jumpsuit like they did in Smallville?
No.
Gray hoodie?
I have a question. I have a question for Superman fans. I mean, I am one. But do you guys experience Doomsday fatigue? I feel like he's like the only villain.
Yeah. Isn't that
no,
right?
but the thing is, he's not the only villain. They just use him because, I mean, it's somebody, something, however you care to put it, that Superman can punch and can keep coming back for more.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's like
I personally
Deadpool
prefer
for
it
me
where
in
it's
the
like,
90s.
I prefer issues that Superman can't punch. There's to think his way through, because everybody forgets that he grew up, as a reporter, doing all these other things, having to think his way through situations. But no, we're just going to have him punch stuff.
Well, and I think Bug Hunter also hits on a point. That Death of Superman
Yes.
issue comic still looms large to this day. It was a cultural phenomenon. So maybe that's why we see Doomsday so
My
much.
Doomsday fatigue was literally getting drunk and wandering all over Salt Lake City without a car, going from convenience store to convenience store trying to find Death of Doomsday.
Yeah.
It took us from 11 o'clock at night until 5 in the morning, just hitting every Maverick in Salt Lake, back when comic books were at convenience stores. We finally found like 3 with the armband and everything.
Spinner rack.
But the Superman, it's ending this week, so watch your Superman and Lois.
Which is apparently the end of a 23-year CW run.
But no. Devastating.
23
Yeah, apparently
years. Wow.
the Arrowverse and its various spin-offs, 23 years apparently.
Wow. God damn. All right. Finished season 2 of Based on a True Story. I'm not going to bother explaining the plot to you because it's very complicated.
HBO keeps trying to make me want to watch that, and I don't think I do.
It's kind of entertaining. If you like podcasts and murder and some funny people,
That's the thing.
yeah, season 2 kind of really ups the stakes. It's something. So all of this talk about Moana 2 and the live action Moana, I was talking with Sue about it, and she said, we've not seen the original Moana. And I said,
At
"You're
all?
right. At all.
At all.
At all." So,
Harry Jackson.
so we fired up the Disney Plus last night and watched
Moana rules.
the original Moana. I get it now. I
You're
see
welcome.
I see why everyone
Robert.
is so excited.
I still haven't seen it.
It's
you guys have
actually
not
very.
seen Moana.
I don't like Lin-Manuel Miranda. Drives me
It's-
up the
I can
frickin'
understand.
wall. Yeah.
I
It's
can
a-
understand.
It's a delightful story, and the Polynesian culture, history, mythology stuff is fascinating, and so that was interesting. And then Sue turns to me and says, let's continue with our people of color Disney support, shall we? Let's watch Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
And so we started that up.
Had you seen
and-
that before?
I had not.
Harry Jackson.
I know, right?
What is happening?
We're old
She's got a
men.
whole ride.
So, well, that was another reason that I thought maybe I should finally get around to watching this. And I was John Goodman's voice right away. I went, but it reminds me of why I love New Orleans. It reminds me of why I love the music so much. The story was just kind of basic, I thought, but it was kind of cool because she wasn't a princess. She kept insisting, I'm not a princess.
I can't believe what
You know?
I'm hearing from you today, Harry Jackson.
I'm sorry, I never saw. There are lots of Disney properties that
comes
I've
a-
not gotten
there-
around to.
There comes a point in your life where you just stop watching the Disney movies.
I'll say this about Moana: you can have your Frozen. Fuck that shit. I'm all
I agree.
I'm all Team Moana.
Moana rules.
But Princess and the Frog was good. Sue fell asleep. So much for her supporting people of color.
Tell Sue I said
crusade
I'm
that she was on.
disappointed. She is not welcome.
Speaking of supporting princesses, did you finish Alien Romulus?
I've not had a moment alone to finish it.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'm Team Moana. Just so you know.
Cannot believe this is earth shattering for me, honestly.
Oh, I could go in the Disney library and I could show you half of it. I've not seen at least half of them.
Song of the South.
I've seen that.
Well,
yeah.
Robert.
They showed.
I'm
Robert,
supporting Disney people of
Listen,
color, even
they
the ones that are just shoved in the Disney vault.
They
I used
showed
to have
that
that
to
on
us.
VHS.
They
I've
showed
got
that
a
to us
DVD of it.
in school. Okay,
In school,
they showed it in
yeah.
school.
If you didn't go to the dance, you got
as
shown
an
Song of the
educational
South.
thing.
You
know.
either go to the dance with the girls or you sit here and you watch racist
Yeah,
Disney
but then-
cartoons.
Yeah.
But then it's in 8th grade. They decided they were going to show Wait Until Dark instead of a Disney movie.
I love that movie.
The movie's fantastic.
Oh
It
my
literally
God.
opens with a guy stuffing heroin into teddy bears.
Yeah.
You're just like, they're showing it to 14-year-olds, and we're going, that's a really good business plan.
You know, honestly, to be fair, I think I was 14 when I saw Wait Until Dark for the
Yeah.
first time.
Listen, I don't know what was going on or why, but they herded all of us into the amphitheater when I was a sophomore in high school. I think I was a sophomore, and they showed us all Creepshow, the original Creepshow.
meteor shit.
And
How
I'm
many
like,
times did you guys have to watch Red October, or no, not Red October, October Sky and or Remember the Titans?
Well, those movies came out when we were in school.
It wasn't Creepshow. It was Tales from the Crypt, the original Tales from the Crypt movie. That was it. That was what they showed us. And I'm like, why are they showing us this? I don't
The
understand.
Christopher Lee one? Like Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee?
No,
Tales
it's
from the Crypt from the 70s?
it's the one from the 70s, but it's the anthology, and then there's the Killer Santa in there as well.
Yeah, they're both
Yeah.
in it. They're
kids.
not spotlighted. They're not the stars, but they're
Yeah, exactly. Like where? I don't know. Are they?
This explains much.
It does, doesn't it? Nebo School District. Yay. All right. Anyway, we're going to wrap things up here. We're going to head to the after party. You can join us, geekshowgotthiscovered.com, and we'll continue this. And Rebecca can continue to drill me as to why I haven't seen all of these shows.
Just Moana. It's just Moana.
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of on the Princess and the Frog kick now.
Make sure to like, and especially if you're listening, I did some demographics on it. 70% of the people watching this show are not actually subscribed to our channel, which explains why we've been at 1,840 subscribers for 7 consecutive weeks. So unless you want the good Lord to take me home to heaven, please subscribe.
Please
Thank you, Mr. Swaggart.
That's a
yes.
threat.
Geekshow.store,
from the
25% off for the next 6 days. So you'll see the discount when you go to your shopping cart. So yeah, geekshow.store. Live long and prosper, bitches.